Welcome back, everybody. It's Rama from Junk Journal Divas. Hello, my friends. Today I'm finishing up these journals, my paper bag journals. So I have 5 more that are finished here. I was going to put some of my boho beads on these, but I decided to make some tassels. So here are my tassels. I'll show you here. So the beads that I used at the top of them are kind of all the same. And then I used some of my fuzzy yarn, some fabrics that I cut into pieces just to make an easy little tassel. A little more simple is just the red fabric with some fuzzy yarn. This is similar to the first one that I showed. And then more of the polka dot fabric. And this one is just the black and the red. So I'm going to give a quick little flip through of these. We'll start with this one. I love the girl on the front. I ended up doing a little bit of doodling on her. Got some junk jewelry piece here with some fibers and a part of an applique. I have a lot of the stuff in my shop. I've got some fuzzy yarns and I have these embellishment kits that have huge, you guys, these are really large embellishment pieces. Some of them are up to like 10-12 inches. So I mean, you're just cutting little pieces off. This is actually a pretty big piece for me to use. I'm usually using, you know, small little pieces like this. Move these aside. And these are my Diva Delight project for August. So these are not going to be in my shop or anything. I'm just showing these are my happy mail for Diva Delights. So inside of all of them, I put paper bags. So I've got this one and then a smaller bag with some of my sari scarf fabric. So there's 2 different kinds of journals. So one kind is like this, where it's like a, you know, regular journal with a bunch of different papers. The other one is like the ones that I made previously, where it's a bunch of pockets. So this one, we just have the papers. This is my tea, spilled tea. It's my linen paper. Some music pages, some little goodies just tucked in. More goodies tucked in. And this is the center of the signature. And just kind of go quickly here. Some goodies tucked in, some embossed papers. And then I put a little envelope in all of them that has some stamps. And then there's a paper doll, Tim Holtz paper doll. And then we were at the end again. There's another embossed paper in here. So this is the first one. And we have this one. Let's see, okay, this is the one of the pocket ones. So just a little piece of ephemera and my bag with the sari fabric in here. You can see the little pocket here. And then I made these page tabs. I just took some of the scraps and ripped up and then made a little sort of a ruffle. And then we've got a pocket here and a pocket here, and I put some embossed paper down inside there. Just a collage sheet. And we've got some goodies tucked down inside here. And also on the other side. This one has a pocket at the top, and then right here, a little tuck. And then here we've got our brown paper bag and some embossed paper. And that is it for this little one. And number 3, we have this one. And these are all the same papers and things, so I'm not going to really go through you know, everything here. Everything's kind of the same types of papers and stuffed with all the same kind of goodies. My embossed paper here, the paper bags. And then next one. This is also one with regular signature here. Some goodies tucked in there. Embossed paper. Some ephemera in the pockets. And then the last one here. This one has top pockets. So we've got some embossed papers there. Our signature pages. Sari fabric. Paper dolls. Paper bag and the envelope with some stamps. And some goodies back here. So you get the idea. And now I'm going to show you how I put together the tassel. They're pretty easy if you have not made them before. There's several different ways that you can do them. But I'm going to show you one of the ways today. And of course, as you can see, I just used ripped pieces of fabric and some fuzzy yarns, and then added some beads at the top. So let's get started. Okay guys, we are going to make a tassel together here. So I've got some fibers. I have some sari silk that I tore up, some fuzzy yarn, some fuzzy fibers, some different laces and fabric. So I've got them all together here, and you want to kind of organize it so that, you know, it's mixed up well. First thing I'm going to do is prepare my wire. So I'm going to take a little bit of wire here. You don't need very much. What is this? Maybe like 8 inches would be enough. Okay, and then I'm going to use my needle nose pliers just to kind of hold it here. And I just want to kind of make my check mark. So it's just like this. Okay. And then I'm going to grab my fibers and kind of organize them a bit. Okay, then I'm going to take my fibers and put it in my check mark here. And then we're going to pull these really nice and snug. Now this is the time when, if you want to make any adjustments, because once you make this really tight, it's kind of hard to move things around. So like, for example, I want these gold fuzzy fibers to kind of be on top. So I'm gonna, let's see, I'm gonna move one actually. That looks better. Okay, and then I'm going to squeeze these really, really nice and tight. Okay, and then I'm going to do, kind of hard to see with the fuzzy yarn here, but I'm going to take my smaller wire and I'm just going to do a really sharp bend. Okay, because I want this to be really nice and tight here. And then while I'm holding it, I'm going to twist it. Twist this around a couple of times. Now you don't want to go too far up your wire when you're twisting, because if you do that when you put your bead on, it won't sit down far enough. So there'll be like a little space there. Then I am just going to cut off the excess here. Get that piece of wire. Okay, and then we're gonna just kind of squash down where that's that piece of wire. We don't want it sticking up and poking us. Okay, and now what I'm going to do, because this is kind of uneven at the bottom, but that's okay. We are going to fix it. I'm going to give my tassel a little haircut here. Okay, that's much better. Okay, so now what I want to do is put my beads on the top here. And this little crinkly part, I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. All right, so I am going to start with my largest bead. I'm going to take this big red one. And then we are going to put a bead cap on top of this, or actually let's use one of these spacer beads that has the rhinestones in it. Okay, and then let me see what this looks like. I think this bead is larger. Is it larger? Maybe slightly, so it's bothering me. The larger one needs to be on the bottom. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna start with one of these spacer beads, and then we'll do this one, and then another spacer bead, and then my red. Let's see what this looks like. This looks better to me. Okay, and then we will put a bead topper on. And then let's do the gold. Okay, I like this better. And then once you're happy with your beads at the top, let's try a white one on top of this. Is that gonna be too big, too long? Okay, and then when you're happy with the beads at the top, just kind of hold the bottom, and you want to pull up on this. You want to make sure your wire is as straight as you can get it here. And then I'm going to take my needle nose pliers, and I'm just going to grab it the top here. And I want to bend it like 45 degrees. So this is what you have. And then I'm going to take my round nose pliers, and I'm going to go, it's about like a ½ an inch down the wire, and I'm going to roll it towards me. And then you can let go, you can roll it again if you have to make it kind of so that the loop is sitting on top there. And then we're going to take this excess part of the wire and just wrap it around there. Now this is the part, it depends on how much space you have between your loop and your beads, because this is where you can like hold them into place, but you don't want it to be too tight. So I think like where we are right now is good. So I'm going to cut this excess off, leaving just a little tiny bit, because I want to take that very end, and we're just going to roll it in so that's moving inward, and then we will push it down, and that keeps it from poking out. We've got our tassel. So that's a super easy way to make tassels. So now that we made one together, I am going to play some music, and I am just going to show how I made these tassels using the same method and even some of the same beads here. So let's get started. thank you so much for joining me today. I hope I inspired you to try making some tassels and paper bag journals with my Diva Delight project. I'd love to see what you create if you do come to Junk Journal Divas and show me what you're creating.